Who you are isn't who your environment told you to be. Today, we're breaking free from the false labels and talking about what it really means to renew your mind. Welcome back to Indomitable with Dom, the podcast for people who refuse to settle for average. Here's the problem. Too many of us are living out an image that isn't even ours, wearing a mask that someone else handed us. Let's be real. Most of us walking around wearing an image that doesn't belong to us. It's stitched together from what our parents said, what teachers called us, what friends joked about, even what society labeled us. And without realizing it, we mistake that image for identity. We make it our truth. But here's the thing. You're not the product of what people spoke over you. You are who God says you are. Who you are is different from who you think you are. Most of us don't even realize it, but we've let our environment hand us a costume and we've been wearing it for years. Maybe it was words spoken over you. Maybe it was the way people treated you. Maybe it was the limitations you saw growing up. Whatever it was, you absorbed it, internalized it, and eventually convinced yourself, this is just who I am. But that's not identity, that's image. And the longer you live in it, the more stuck you'll feel. Romans 12:2 says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Renewing your mind is the process of stripping off false labels and replacing them with truth. This is not just concept, it is daily work. For me, this became real growing up. For the first part of my life, I lived in inner city Milwaukee, off of MLK in Port Washington. And let's be real, there is not a city in America where MLK means you're in a nice part of town. But that is where I learned to survive. When my family moved to the suburbs, it wasn't better. It was just different. Because my mother tried to protect us. She kept us sheltered. And out there, we were outsiders. I'll never forget the muddy boots being left on our car or being told, go back to Africa. And here's the point. Whether it was in the hood or in the suburbs, your environment will hand you an image. If you accept it, you stay stuck. For me, I carried both. I looked at the hood mentality like it was my identity. And I looked at racism as proof that I'd never be accepted. And if I wasn't careful, I could have stayed locked in that victim mindset forever. And I see this all the time in my community. Too many of us say, I can't make it because I'm black. Or the system won't let me. Yes, racism is real. Yes, the system has flaws. But let me tell you this. My identity is not rooted in the color of my skin, and neither is yours. My identity is bigger. My identity is in God. It hit me one day. If I'm made in his image, this does not mean physically. It means spiritually. If my creator spoke the universe into existence, if he breathed life into dust, then that same potential that he carried, he placed in me. That doesn't make me God, but it means I carry his imprint. And once I tapped into that truth, I stopped living as a victim of my environment and start living as the son of a king. Here's the principle. Environment shapes image, but only God defines identity. Image is what you absorbed, the words, the labels, the experiences. Identity is who God says you are, chosen, equipped, and called. And this is why renewing your mind is not optional. It's survival. Because if you don't renew your mind, you'll carry yesterday's beliefs into today's opportunities. Let me break it down. In your career, you can have all the skill in the world, but if you still believe the lies you are given, I'm not leadership material, or I don't belong in that room, you'll sabotage yourself. You'll stay in the same role with the same paycheck and the same cycle. And then you'll blame the boss, you'll blame the company, you'll blame politics, when the real problem is that you never renewed your mind to believe that you are capable of more. In your marriage or relationships, if you don't renew your mind, you'll drag old scripts into your current life. You'll project what your parents did or what your past partners did onto the person right in front of you. Instead of building unity, you'll repeat cycles. That's why so many relationships break, not from lack of love, but from an unrenewed mind carrying old wounds. As a mother or father, if you don't renew your mind, you'll hand your kids the same limitations and labels that you were given. You'll raise them to fight battles that you never won, instead of teaching them to stand on truth. Pathology starts when one generation refuses to grow and the cycle repeats. In life in general, a mind that isn't renewed becomes a mind that blames. You'll blame the customer for not buying, blame the job for not paying, blame your spouse for not supporting, blame your kids for being too demanding, always pointing outward and never inward. That's the danger of living from an image instead of identity. Image keeps you the victim. Identity makes you responsible. Renewing your mind is how you break the cycle. It's how you step out of blame and into ownership. It's how transformation begins. I want to give you 3 action steps to help you step into identity. 1, audit the labels. Write down the top 3 things you believed about yourself that has come from someone else's words. Then I want you to write a scripture of truth next to each one. Number 2, choose identity over excuses. Stop saying I can't because and replace it with I can because God is with me. Even in the small, take it. Step 3, create a renewal ritual. Every morning, before you touch your phone, before you read an email, read one verse of truth, speak it out loud, and set one action for the day that matches it. That's renewing your mind in practice. Listen, your environment may have shaped your image. People may have spoken lies over you. You may have seen nothing but limitation, but none of that defines you. God defines you, and He says that you're chosen. He says you're capable. He says you were created on purpose for a purpose. And here's the sobering truth. If you don't renew your mind, you'll stay stuck. Different year, same cycle. Same paycheck, different boss. Same arguments, different partner. Same frustrations, different faces. But if you do renew your mind, you don't just change your life. You change your household, you change your career, you change generations after you. Because identity doesn't just free you, it frees everyone connected to you. So stop letting your environment dictate your identity. Drop the mask. Renew your mind. Step into the power God already placed in you. Because the world doesn't need another copy of someone else. It needs the real you. If this one spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who's been living under labels. Be on the lookout for your free guide, 7 Steps to Overcome Your Mind, and join a community committed to renewing our minds and walking in our true identity. Until next time, keep growing, keep fighting, and stay indomitable.